see, the problem is it can't recover from stupidity. You can only make so many bad decisions as a leader. You seem to be doing nothing that's productive for the city. When you make laws that release criminals instantly right back into the streets, do you think crime might go up? And you see that we're having violence every day. This is literally turned into Gotham City. There's something wrong here. And it's not us, it's the people that we trusted.
I'm excited to show you guys an app that I've been using for a while. It's called Kalshi. It's the first legal exchange in which you could bet on events in real time. Kalshi has hundreds of markets to bet on, ranging anywhere from the price of Bitcoin, interest rates, Billboard Top 100, video games, and even the weather. This is the only place to trade or bet on these events in all 50 states. You can sign up using the link below. For the first 500 traders who deposit $50 will get $20 in free credit. Download Kalshi in the App Store now. All right, guys, from New York, right? We got Beck Glover here today. Thanks for flying in, man.
Sean, thanks for having me, man. How
Absolutely.
you been?
Good, dude. We both grew up in Jersey, so we got that Jersey bond.
Just found out.
Yeah.
But more, ass cheek of New York City. My family started in the Bronx, and I grew up along the Hudson River, facing the city. So it was always there as a backdrop, as an inspiration. The Emerald City, Oz, I always wondered what it was like. I'd stare at the buildings, and fantasize about what it would be like one day to be an adult in New York City.
And now you manifested it.
And now,
Took a lot to get there, though. We're going to dive into that.
It took a lot to get into that, and it's kind of sad where it is today. I don't, where we're trending right now as a city is just, I don't recognize the place anymore. It's disturbing.
Did it not recover from?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
But it could have. You see, the problem is it can't recover from stupidity, massive stupidity. And I don't find it to be, and when I say stupidity, it's not just the politicians, it's the people that can't see what the politicians are doing. You can only make so many bad decisions as a leader. And eventually you got to say, well, you seem to be doing nothing that's productive for the city. When you make laws that release criminals instantly right back into the streets, do you think crime might go up? And you see that we're having violence every day. People are scared to get on the subway. It's just day after day, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. It's literally turned into Gotham City.
Yeah.
And when do you stop as a citizen of that city and say, okay, there's something wrong here. And it's not us, it's the people that we trusted. So the stupidity really is on our part because we allow these people to continue to do what they do. You have congestion toll going in now, so you're going to be charged within New York City that if you come from outside of New York City, you're already paying $16 to get across the GW or the Lincoln Tunnel. And now you're going to put another $16 to $17 to go between 42nd Street or whatever, that little zone they want to do. They knocked out 4 bike lanes on 8th Avenue. They put lanes where cars used to be able to. They created they made the congestion horrible, and now they want to tax us on it. We are being taxed beyond what is normal. And statistically, when you look historically, when tax rates of citizens has gone close to 50% or higher, you've had revolutions throughout history. The average American, if you look at what you're paying, especially in blue states, between state income tax, all the other taxes, regressive taxes such as tolls, right, which are a big part of New York, and Jersey, right? The New Jersey Turnpike. And then you look at all these other fees and taxes we're paying, and then you're paying taxes on things that you already pay. You're buying something. We're over 50%, brother. Jeez. We laugh at you have half your money is being taken from you unless you know how to maneuver and play all these games and let me set up shop in Vegas or Florida. That's why everyone's leaving California. So it's not just New York, but when does it get to a point where we say, hey, you're taking all of my money, I'm getting this? It's why the revolution happened in America, being taxed without no representation, taxation without representation, right?
Right.
I don't feel represented by my elite, my leaders, right? But that's how they are. They're an elite class. Where's our representation? Billions of dollars. I have my friend, shout out to Eric Patrick Thomas, okay? Paralyzed from the neck down, Sean. Okay, from a tragic, he was, hit by a stray bullet, has no reason, doesn't even know why he was shot, in front of his own home, paralyzed from the neck down. One of the most positive, you got to have him on your show, bro.
Yeah.
One of the most positive human beings in the world, lives in Flint, Michigan, and this citizen of our country does not have clean water to take a bath. It's hard enough to survive the way he is, and he has to buy water to fill up his bathtub.
Oh my gosh.
So when we can't even take care of our own, what are we doing, brother?
Yeah, that's terrible.
And as someone that lost his family in war, how many billions of dollars were just passed last week? More, additional. Do I feel for the people of Ukraine? But then you see all these viral videos of them dancing. I mean, when my people were at war, there was no one in nightclubs dancing.
Yeah.
They were either trying to get out of the country or they were on the front line. It seems like life's normal in Kiev. So, and I'm not knocking. I support the Ukrainian people's right to self-determination. I will always support a nation's sovereign rights and freedom. but it's like billions and billions of dollars, and these people are partying. Something that doesn't make sense, Sean.
Yeah,
we went from New York to Ukraine in 2 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Very strange. No, I want to. I'm excited to show you guys an app that I've been using for a while. It's called Kalshi. It's the first legal exchange in which you could bet on events in real time. Kalshi has hundreds of markets to bet on, ranging anywhere from the price of Bitcoin, interest rates, Billboard Top 100, video games, and even the weather. This is the only place to trade or bet on these events in all 50 states. You could sign up using the link below. For the first 500 traders who deposit $50 will get $20 in free credit. So once you have downloaded the app, pick a category in which you want to place your bet. I have a Tesla car and I like Elon, so I'm going to bet something Tesla related. I will bet that they will reveal the robo-taxi by August 9th. I'm going to place a $100 bet that the release happens before that date and yield a possible return of $1,300. Let's place the same $100 bet that the release doesn't happen before this date so I can make $100. And the higher the risk or the more unlikely an event will happen, the higher the reward. Kalshi's got hundreds of markets to trade on. How many cars will Tesla deliver this quarter? When will Optimus AI bot be released? And when will Starship get to orbit and more? They've seen over $750 million in trading volume and they keep adding new markets. Click the link below and sign up for Kalshi today. Talk about, well, first of all, did you see Biden's new tax proposal today?
No, I did not have
He wants to raise the federal rate to 44.6%.
Across the board?
Yeah, right now it's 35, right?
Sean, there you go. But there we go. We're almost at the 50% just on the federal level.
Yeah. So
This
imagine
is
that.
insane.
Plus New York City has city tax, right?
Puerto Rico's looking real good right now, man.
It is.
Shout out to my Puerto Ricans.
I don't know if I could give up quality of life here, but now the quality is going down here.
Sean, I just cannot understand like, when do people wake up, brother? Like, there's something not right here. This is not the America we recognized 30, 40, 50 years ago where you had hope. There's no, you know what's missing from New York City? There was, it's hard to really, you know, even admit it, but there was that optimism. I can do anything in this city. I can make anything happen. This is a place with unlimited potential. You never know who you're going to meet in a coffee shop that can, right?
Yeah.
That optimism's completely gone. It's now like, I don't know why I'm here. I want to get out of here. If I could only get out of here. That's the mood.
Yeah.
The buildings are the same. That's when I realized New York City was never about the buildings. It was the collective. It was these amazing human beings that charged. Those buildings were just like satellites almost that were broadcasting this beacon of hope. And right now we're vibrating so low there. It's like, it doesn't matter that we have all these beautiful buildings. The energy is just, Sean, it's nothing like it was. Bro.
Agreed. Same with LA.
It makes me so sad. Yeah, and I heard LA used to be amazing. I didn't really have much time in LA until about 7, 8 years ago I started going. But I heard like before it was like, you know, like you saw in the movies, like a place of happiness. And
Yep. You used to get off a plane in LA or New York City and feel amazing. Now you get off, you're like kind of miserable. It's weird, dude.
it's crazy.
Yeah, they've sucked the energy out of these major cities. Now it's like Miami, Vegas, Puerto Rico, pretty much.
It's all bland.
Yeah.
But Miami, see, I feel like they have the positive energy.
They do in Miami.
You know, you go to Brickell, I swear to God, I felt more like I was in Manhattan and Brickell lately than I do in New York before everything started happening 4 or 5 years ago. Like, you can feel the energy of optimism and we can do things and you never know who you get. Like, you feel that energy in Miami right now. You're not feeling it in New York City. And
No,
I hate
you're
that.
not.
I'm not self-hating. I'm simply saying I love my city. My city was a place where anyone of any color, of any race, of any whatever, we coexisted, we got along. I may never feel safe enough to go to Afghanistan, but I could go to Mohammed's Afghani restaurant on 10th Avenue and experience his culture, experience his cuisine, hear the stories of how when the Soviets invaded, why his family came here, and what his opinions are of what happened over the last 20, 30 years. I get to experience that. That was what's magical and what was always magical about places like New York, LA, this melting pot where why do we have amazing food? Because Korean gets mixed in with Spanish food, mixed in, it's just amazing fusion of arts and food and culture. And how many times I've been to the park and I'll see the covered Middle Eastern woman next to the Hasidic Jewish woman, where overseas they'd be blowing each other up right now, but over here their kids are playing together. Where we were a place where ideas, thoughts, I grew as a person in New York. As someone that lost his family in war, I'm not going to say that I didn't have hatred in my heart when I lost 30 people in a single day. But I had to be forced to talk to people from that country that killed my family.
Wow.
And I did make friends from that part of the world. And it was very different. I was forced to grow as a New Yorker. Okay? And I had every right. My heart was swollen. You get a phone call and find out your cousins are dead. They were all executed right? During the Kosovo War, right?
Jeez.
I never wanted to be friends with a Serbian. I would never even give them a chance, but New York City made me have no choice. And I grew as a person. I realized I can't put all people in one box. Just because the government of the people does something doesn't mean all their people agree with it. I don't agree with anything my government's doing right now. I don't agree with the Iraq war. I never supported that war. And we saw it wasn't the truth what happened. Weapons of mass destruction. 1 million Iraqis dead. They should love us. We're not making friends anymore. All we're doing is making enemies. So if I don't agree with what my own government does, then how can I be mad at the citizens of another nation when I know that maybe not all of them supported what happened to my people, for example? And that's where the growth came from, Sean Kelly.
You're seeing people wake up that were serving in these wars, Afghanistan, Iraq, and they're questioning, was that even worth it?
My cousin questions it. He served in Fallujah, lost half his platoon. Shout out to Brian in Dallas, okay? Marines, respect. Are they being used for corporate feudalism, or are we protecting our country? Because I don't think we've ever been weaker. They want to ban TikTok. You want to ban TikTok, really? Because we're all going, this is a threat now. Where were you guys when Bill Clinton was allowing them into the World Trade Organization? When they were allowing slave labor into the world labor pool? How was the American worker ever going to compete? That's why Detroit became a ghetto. That's why everything has gone to hell, because we didn't protect what we had. When I landed in Germany for the first time in my life, because there's no direct flight to Albania.
Yeah.
So I would usually go either through Austria or Germany. And when I went to go see one of my cousins in Germany, and I get out of the airport and everything was Mercedes. I'm like, Dad, the Mercedes is the taxis are Mercedes. He's like, yes, son, they make it very expensive. They make it more expensive to buy an American car than their German car. So everyone just buys Mercedes. I go, but why don't we do that home? Well, because we didn't protect the American worker. As a child, I grew up in this country and everything said made in America. I have not held many products in the last 20 years in my hands that say made in America. How are we a superpower if we make nothing? How, when during the shutdown 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't even have enough antibiotics? We are in serious trouble. We are in danger if something goes wrong. We are in danger if a world war breaks out. We're not self-sustaining anymore, Sean Kelly.
Yeah.
The American superpower is only superpower because of how big our bombs are. But tech can maybe outsmart that too. So we are in danger as a nation. And I don't care if you're left, right. I'm neither. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I want someone who cares about our people. I don't care about what people do in their bedroom. It's not my business. And it's not their business what I do. I have children. Leave me alone. If you can't make children, why are you worried about what I do with my children? Just what I say, mind your own business. Live and let live. This is the problem we have today. Everybody wants to tell you how to live, and that's what America was supposed to represent. And we know that we have a dark history too. But it was supposed to represent a place where you could live your life as long as you bother no one else.
Right.
Yes, we have a dark past. Yes, many mistakes were made throughout American history. But many countries have dark past. The key is we started moving in the right direction finally, right? In a lot of different ways.
Agreed. That brings us up to the next topic, the bastard generation.
Generation of bastards, man. If people think that, and I tend to take things from the spiritual side. I do believe in God. I know that I don't believe that. I know there's a God. I don't see how this podcast is not being made randomly. You had to hire an engineer, set up the cameras, and then just boop, pop up. I mean, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
It's intricate, right? I think we're pretty intricate as a species. I don't think anything happens by accident. Generation of bastards. If people think that's just, having physical relations, it's no big deal. Well, if we look at it statistically, 90% of violent crime is committed by children from a single parent home. If you want to wonder why there's so much rage and why someone can just kick someone off a subway platform, and it's happening every day in New York City and cities across the world, because it is an oppression for a children to not have both their parents. With the divorce rate being at where it is now, close in the 60% range, with many people opting to not even get married, at least legally, okay? Divorces through the roof. This promiscuity has led to a generation of bastards, and we are feeling their rage. From the inception of the sexual revolution in the 60s to where we are today, if people think it's just a joke and it's no big deal. When they made the show I Dream of Jeannie, there was massive unrest at one point. People were protesting because she was showing her belly button. I'm not picking on women. I'm saying just to understand, people would say, well, we were old-fashioned back then. I say the kind of stuff we're seeing on television today, during my youth, would have been rated X. No, it's serious. Rated X, it would be. What was rated X back then, today is normal. You could put it on, any kid can see it. So we're in a generation of bastards, meaning, and I'm not knocking these people that don't know. Half of them don't even know who their father is. Because the act of creating human life, that's what that really is, right? And it's not just a physical act. There's a spiritual element to it. If it is conceived with no love, then it will show no love to the world. That child will show no love. This is how a woman who gets pregnant can throw her baby in a dumpster. Happens every day.
Jeez.
Okay, if they don't get it removed, you find them. I mean, you've heard these stories.
Yeah.
They leave it on the steps because that child meant nothing, because they take a sacred act. There's nothing more sacred you can give someone than entrance to your vessel. The exchange of energy between two people, the act of making love. If it's conceived out of love, then that child will be full of hate. These children are full of rage because they felt no love. They were conceived with no love. They were shown no love. The world didn't care about me. My own parents didn't care about me. Why should I care about anyone? Especially some random person. It's easy for them to pull the trigger. This is all statistically proven. Go to heritage.org. You have the statistics there. Violent crimes, sexual crimes, 290% more likely to carry a weapon, children who don't have a father in their life.
Wow.
People think it's a joke. The Cardi B generation, shake your butt, them and I get some money. This is what we're teaching. Our music's poison, man.
100%.
I love hip hop, and this ain't the hip hop I remember. And it's powerful. It's a weapon. Watch a movie without music, see if you cry. It could be the saddest movie. You probably won't. I guarantee you they play little Inception music. Dun, dun. Even our clips, they go more viral when the right songs in the background. That is the power of that music. So many people, they just don't get it. You're under assault 24/7. Mentally, physically, spiritually. That is why where we are. And I wish I had good news. It's only going to get worse.
I think so too. There's theories the CIA took over the hip hop industry.
I think it looks pretty much that way. If you look at, after the assassination of Dr. King, may he rest in peace, and Malcolm X, one of my favorite heroes of all time, went to pray in his mosque and everything. The family structure of that community, in my opinion, was under immediate attack. Their statistics were not what they are today. And then there was that introduction of that music. And when hip hop was first introduced, it was extremely positive.
Yeah.
You got to, all the older songs, you got to basically think before you do stuff. Read, study, learn. This is how they're playing you. And it was moving. And I believe there was 100% infiltration to destroy that community.
Wow. That is crazy. That's not talked about, dude.
I mean, I don't know if it was that agency per se. I 100% think that there was an agenda to use that music as a weapon to cause brother, listen, I've been in nightclubs my whole life. And I love 50 Cent. When it was bumping, I felt like I wanted to knock someone out, because it gets you amped up. That's the power of music. So what's the message being broadcast through that music? Same thing. It could be house music. They use some dirty lyrics, come and bang me, or whatever they put in the song. It affects the subconscious.
100%. I used to listen to depressing music. XXXTentacion, you know him? And I was depressed because of the music. I was putting it on repeat for months straight. It really affects you.
100%. When I want to go and get, pumped up, I like to play shout out Immortal Technique. The place that I'm from doesn't exist anymore. So I'm very proud. That's how I feel about America. People should live that. You want to know how I feel about the world we live in? Immortal Technique, The Point of No Return. It's one of my favorite songs.
Classic. How's the nightclub scene these days in New York?
Truth of the matter is, the New York City nightlife is nothing compared to what it was. Not even close. The energy is very different. It's become very commercial. It's lacking the organic, artistic side of it that it used to have over the last 40, 50 years. I would say it really just went down the hill after probably around 2010.
Wow.
As far as organic, you had places like Sound Factory, Twilo, Bungalow 8, and all these amazing places where art and regular people and celebrities would get together and it was fun. It became very commercial, and I think the reason for that is not the club's faults. The rents became so crazy. You're paying $150,000 in rent, and you have employees and workman's comp and all this stuff. You're not paying $400 for a bottle of vodka. $400 is cheap now. It's $800.
Jeez.
Okay, for a $30 bottle. You're paying for that real estate, man, to sit down. They can't afford to not have these types of minimums for you to be able to take a seat because they got to break even. They got to pay their staff. Right, a drink's $30, like literally paying for one drink what a bottle costs. So what's happening is I'm noticing a lot of the clubs are struggling. Some of the estimates I've heard on the streets, 20 to 40% down from 2 years ago.
Wow.
And the reason for it, I think the younger generation, the hipsters as they're known as, I think they're just getting those brewskis, getting that six-pack, getting the bottle of vodka, going back to their house, getting drunk, and they'd rather go spend their money on an experience or a festival. They don't care. My generation was all about, but the bottles were cheap, man. $2.50 was a bottle.
Yeah.
So it was easy to be a boss. You could be a boss as a waiter. If you worked in a good restaurant, you could go out every night and crack a bottle or two. They don't have that luxury. So I don't blame the hipsters for that as far as being able to afford that lifestyle. So I think they'd rather go spend $100, go to the festival drunk already, and that's why you see the big movement in Brooklyn at the Mirage and all these places where they'd rather just pay to get in and enjoy the music in with 2,000 people, 10,000 people, than the individual clubs itself. It's changing, brother. You either change with the times or you go out of business.
So it's like a stalemate. Similar with real estate then too. People aren't buying right now. People aren't selling.
They're not. I know. I tried to sell one of my properties, and I don't want to let it go for less than that. People won't even forget making offers. Nobody was even coming. And I'm one of the, Bergen County, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Huh? Not even an offer.
Wow.
Like, and not even that. People weren't even coming to look.
Holy crap.
And I wasn't that far overpriced. I even dropped it a little bit, and I said, okay, if I can't get at least that much, then it's not worth it. I'd rather have the rental income.
Yeah. Interest rates, man. And people don't even know what banks to trust these days.
No, it's crazy.
Scary times. And the dollar's going down. I mean, there's a lot of different things happening right now.
I'm not a big fan of crypto, not because you can't make money with it. I've said this publicly many times. Yes, if you know how to play the game and go do it, milk it. But I don't trust it for what I believe it's intended to do.
Really? Yes. Bitcoin?
I believe. See, why does Bitcoin have the value it has?
Yeah.
Is why. When did it really start to, because it's been out for a long time. When did it really start to take value?
It's had 3 major pumps.
When? What happened? Certain companies started saying, we'll take Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
That's really when you saw the large increase in value. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Because it became more perceived to have true value. I can use this to buy a Tesla or whatever it was, right? Whatever companies started saying, we'll accept this coin, now it has real value, right? Mm-hmm. What happens if the government says, let's just use Ethereum, for example. This coin is no longer allowed to be accepted by any corporation in the U.S. What would happen? What do you think would happen to the value of that coin?
It would go down.
Dramatically, yes?
Yeah.
So I believe the end game is central banking digital currencies. They made up this story of a Japanese wizard. He's a wizard. He's like the Wizard of Oz. He's going to save us. Because if they told us the real agenda of crypto in the next 20 years, none of us would be using it right now. If I told you you're helping build your own prison right now, you wouldn't lift a brick. If I said, those bricks, I want you to make this wall, but after that, you're going to be stuck inside that structure that you're building. Would you lift the bricks?
No.
Well, you guys are all doing it. You're building your own prisons, and you don't even realize it. But this is going to age. Mark my words. Not saying you can't make money, but the short-term gains that we're getting now are to get us used and conditioned to not using cash, to believing in digital currency, which has no true value in that sense. It's not tangible. I know fiat currency is not backed by anything either, which is why inflation's rampant.
Right.
But the move is they will never allow something to prosper that they can't control, period. Well, that's why it's great because I can put it in my wallet, yes. But if none of these companies accept that coin, let's see what it's worth. Let's see what these coins are worth if these types of laws come out in the future. And I believe they will. I believe this is the real alternative motive. Whoever created that coin, whether it was an agency, it wasn't no Japanese wizard, I promise you. That I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Okay?
It would be
Social credit scores, Sean Kelly.
Yeah. You think that's happening?
100%.
China has it.
100% that's the future in the world we live in. You will not escape the blockchain. Once I understood what blockchain was, I was terrified.
So you think we're going communism?
I think we're going to a place where communism is going to look like Disney World, brother. I think we're going to a complete technocratic, authoritarian, can't even talk right now, a technocracy, a totalitarian technocracy. There will be no escaping.
Wow. That's scary.
You fart on a Friday and that's the law, you're going to have your social credit score deducted. That type of control.
Jeez. Why are you so, I don't know the word, but.
I don't know. Why are all these companies that, there needs to be a real discussion in today's world with all these social platforms, because I don't want to use names to strike us.
Yeah.
These are now the public squares. No one's really going out there and standing on a soapbox anymore. I understand that they're privately owned, but there needs to be a real discussion for the ones that allow public discourse. There needs to be no censorship, my friend. Now, I'm not talking about showing graphic images and hate speech. I'm talking about if my opinion is different on you, especially for something medically related, okay? If this is the new public square, then there needs to be something that protects the First Amendment no matter what. Otherwise, is this America anymore?
Right.
Well, it's a privately owned company. Yeah, that's great. That privately owned company, a lot of them were caught influencing the election. This is a fact. A lot of them were censoring and downgrading things that had to do with public health issues. Why can't me and you have a debate? Why can't me and you discuss when you closed the whole world down? You destroyed millions of lives. I've spoke to many of my fans and followers who have lost everything because of what happened over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I was thrown off of Clubhouse hosting the biggest room at the time, bigger than Mario Nofal. If you see this, Mario, shout out. You forgot your friend who didn't turn his back on you when you got thrown off the platform, but shout out to Mario on Twitter. Hope he remembers his buddy Beck Lover. So I got thrown off for hosting a room. Is the next lockdown coming? While the lockdown's still going on. Is it not fair to discuss what was affecting our life? But that platform got what it deserved. It became a joke.
Yeah, they're
a joke. If you're watching this, whatever your names are, now they're on some other app called Chat, whatever, Air Chat. Hi, how you doing? You should have took the bag for $4 billion when you had the chance. Clowns, bro. You destroy your own content creators. Why? For hosting a fair room? That's why Clubhouse could have been a miracle, and it was. When that thing was running in the beginning, 1 hour on Clubhouse was like 10 years in the real world for networking.
You learned a lot.
My friend, it's how I met Brad Lee, this one, that one. Within seconds, I would have never met these people. It was literally 1 hour. I was on it day and night, day and night. My family was like, what the hell are you doing? I said, you understand, I'm someone that's networked my whole life. I had to knock on doors, bang out phone calls, go to dinners, hope I'd run into this person. When I wanted to meet a celebrity, I had to hope I could get there, try to get into the venue or whatever. What was going on at Clubhouse at that time, you were able to network 1 hour, 10 years, Sean Kelly.
Yep.
And it did change my life. So shame on the founders of that app.
It's terrible. Now the only one that's truly free speech is Twitter.
For now.
For now, yeah.
For now.
Because big
Could be a big Honeywell, too. I don't trust the guy.
You don't trust Elon?
No.
Why?
1 minute, AI is the worst thing in the world. Second minute, let me put a chip in your brain that's controlled by AI. Make up your mind, brother. Controlled op. You really think the American government gave private control to the space program to a corporation just overnight?
Yeah. At his level, he has to be influenced.
I think he's a groomed perception of Tony Stark. I don't think he's on our side. Or if he is, the best case scenario with him, he's like that black scientist in Terminator 2 who didn't realize when he was developing the arm for the Terminator that it was going to lead to the destruction of the world.
Yeah, someone's definitely knocked on his door. I had the World Economic Forum trying to recruit me the other day. They came to my event. So I know I'm being watched too.
Yeah. Don't go there, Chunka.
I know. Pretty scary, man.
You will own nothing and you will be happy. Klaus Schwab, if you're watching this, not all of us are falling for it.
Feeding insects to people. They got Robert Downey, man.
He's in?
You saw that? He was on a cricket diet for a bit.
Yeah. Well, they're puppet masters.
Yeah, a lot of these celebrities are, and you've hung out with some of them. So what's been your experience seeing that?
So I'm not friends with all of them. But the ones that I'm friends with, from what I can tell, they're not impacted by that.
Okay.
Or maybe they haven't gone high enough. But, I've seen some of the darkness of fame. More I've seen the personal habits of some of these people where, they don't realize what they're doing. A lot of them get caught in lust, right? Destroys them. But yeah, man, one of the, I met Diddy or Lover, whatever he's called. If he would have made it Lover, I would have sued him. There's only one Lover. That's Beck Lover. But... 2001, it was like the first time I'd ever met like a big celebrity.
Yeah.
And it was, We Invented the Remix was the name of the album. So it was Busta Rhymes' birthday, We Invented the Remix, and it was hosted by Diddy and like every major rapper of that time. This girl I went to college with worked for Jacob the Jeweler, which by the way, Jacob, if you're seeing this, you owe me a watch. I indirectly launched your entire company. You owe me a watch.
You keep receipts.
Victoria was her name. She went to Pace University. She begged me to get her into that party. I didn't even know who Jacob did. No one knew who he was at that time. She's like, I work for this jeweler. Can you help me get in? Because it's, all the rappers are going to be there. I get to the front of Lot 61. That's the name of the venue that was there. It was owned by Amy Sacco. 1,000 people outside, only 250 inside. Every major rapper in the world. And the manager, shout out to Bin, Noka. These are the receipts. He was the manager with Mateus. Shout out to Mateus. He owns a great restaurant in the city. I forgot the name. But make the story short, they get me in, I get her in. She's a good-looking girl. She goes around. I see her give the card to Puffy. She hangs out with him all night.
Yeah.
I hang out with Black Rob, God rest his soul. I didn't know who he was at first. There was no Google. There was no, this is 2001.
Right.
And Diddy's dancing on the table, and he's like really angry. I could barely afford. I had a bottle of Moet. It was only $85 back then. So I charged my credit card. First time I went to credit card debt. I bought the Moet, and I'm drinking. I'm like, hey, you want a glass? Man, he's like, you see that? I'm like, I'm allowed to curse?
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, who? He's like, that mother. He's pointing to Puffy.
I
said, yeah, man. I hate that. I said, why? I can't make no money because of him. I said, well, what do you mean? He's like, you know that song like Whoa? I said, yes. It was like one of the hottest songs of the time. He's like, that's my song, man. It takes all the money, man.
Damn.
God rest in peace, Black Rob. He just passed away. I wasn't friends with him, but I'll never forget that night. 2 weeks later, Victoria comes back, running to me in front of Pace University. Oh my God, Beck, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. I'm like, thank me for. She's like, Puffy, he came to Jacob's store. He just bought his first piece. He's bringing the cameras from making the band. And next thing you know, you hear this guy's name all over every rap song. I was the Forrest Gump of that story.
Wow.
He never met me. It's not that he really owes me something, but Jacob, I think out of courtesy, I got her in that night. I saw her give the card. She came and thanked me. Her name was Victoria. I think you could give me one nice watch and no Fugazi diamonds in it.
I love it. What's your take on Diddy right now? Because the media's attacking him. Do you
Very
think
weird scenario, brother.
Do you think it's orchestrated?
I think he's the Black Jeffrey Epstein, brother.
So you think there is some truth to it?
I think if they're rating him like that, it's either that or it's a massive distraction for something else and nothing will happen. So, but my question is, how come nobody talks about Russell Simmons? My man left the country years ago. He's been hiding out in Bali and nobody seems to talk about him. Him, you know, it's weird, man. Supposedly he's biking around Miami. I don't even think he's in the country anymore, man. I don't know. I mean, has he really been spotted? How do we know he's really been spotted?
Right. You think he dipped?
I think he dipped. Diddy dipped, I think. Diddy, if you're out there, God help you, bro.
There's some theories on cloning.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you seen those? Certain celebrities get cloned, like Kanye and stuff.
Well, they've been saying, you know, there was some crazy guy in Alex Jones the other day, man. He was saying that we're seeing clones of these people. He was one of those conspiracy theorists with the letter, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he was a little off his rocker, bro.
Some people take it too far. I mean, even Alex has taken it a little too far sometimes. Alex Jones.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now, you were involved with 9/11. You were on site, right?
I was not involved. You're trying to get my door. I was unfortunately there. I was actually on the E train, and anyone that knows before the last stop was the World Trade Center, literally beneath it. So I was going to Pace University. It was a beautiful day out. The semester just started. I'm a sophomore, and I'm excited, to go to school. Subway doors open, and all I hear is screaming, yelling, crying. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm looking at this guy next to me. He's like, do you know what's going on? I'm like, no. I was like, I know we got to get upstairs though, because I had a girlfriend at the time. I get up above the ground. And it's snowing outside, but it's 80 degrees outside. And I look up, it was all the papers. And I don't know how long I was frozen there, brother. I just could not. I went into the subway, and the world was normal. It was like I went into like a war, like a different dimension on that subway ride. I come out, and the world has never been the same since that day. And I learned one of my greatest lessons that day, that there might not be a tomorrow.
Wow.
I walked in and out of the World Trade Center every single day for 2 years of my life. I saw it my entire life in front of me from Edgewater, Hoboken area. You could see it my whole life. Never once pushed the button to go upstairs. All I had to do was touch the button and go up once. People from all over the world, Bangladesh, Albania, China, they've come as tourists, and they went to Brad Lee told me. He's like, you idiot, you had it right there, you didn't go. People from all over the world went to the top of that building. And here I was, a young man. That's why. When we're young, we take so much for granted. We take our health, our time, the people in our lives that might not be here tomorrow. And after I walked out of that building, I found my girlfriend of the time, and we headed to Brooklyn, and I was halfway over the Brooklyn Bridge. The earth shook, like we just had an earthquake the other day in New York. I turn around, and I see the first tower coming down.
Whoa.
And it was I call it the Bridge of Tears, the entire Brooklyn Bridge. We were all just weeping, brother. And we thought we were going to get hit on the bridge, too, because we didn't know. Nobody knew what was going on, man.
Wow.
Phones weren't working. And later on, when I had time to reflect, and that's the problem with today's world. People don't take serious time to reflect. And I see that chance I had to go to the top, I would never get it again, right? It's gone. And all I had to do was go. But it's just tomorrow, because I live here. I can do it tomorrow. I can go tomorrow. I live in New York. I can go whenever I want. only an arrogant person would think they have tomorrow. Only God knows if you have tomorrow.
Wow.
Only God knows if you'll see your mom tomorrow. Oh, you're holding a grudge, but I'm waiting for my brother to apologize. I've apologized many times to people I love. I swear to God, Sean, they didn't deserve the apology. Because I don't ever want to feel something that people don't understand. There are things you do in life that no matter how much money you make later, no matter what you do, you will not be able to erase from your soul, from your mind, from your consciousness. To live with regret is to live imprisoned. Because there's some things that you just might not be able to forgive yourself for. So try to avoid things that will make that type of pain in your life. Now, that's also where our greatest lessons come from, right? But try to, it's almost impossible to not have things. I'm talking about serious things. Like when it comes to people, man.
Yeah.
You lose your mom, your dad, your brother, someone that you really love. You might not get that second chance. I try not to go to sleep without making peace with the people I love, even if they're wrong. And
Right.
a lot of times they are. And
Wow.
I'm no angel. I made many mistakes in my life. But that's the difference between someone who grows and a narcissist. If you're blaming everyone else and never once blaming yourself, if you're watching this broadcast, there's something wrong with you. Because I promise you, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things that's wrong. Everybody's impolite to people, and maybe you don't even realize you've hurt people. To say you don't make any errors or don't do anything wrong to people, we all do at times. Even sometimes we do it by accident because we're just in a rush or other things are going on. We neglect what's important. Trying to have, because the older you get, that regret, man, can become very painful.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why people need to go out. Like I spoke about you, like this industry we're in, it's not easy. There's millions of podcasts. I'm very impressed with the work that you've done. The amount of people, the amount of content you've produced in the last 3 months is absolutely ridiculous. Like crazy, bro. I can't believe how many I've been doing it for 4 years. You did more than I did in all 4 years put together, literally. So, kudos to you. People think it's a joke. They think this is easy. It's not easy.
Nah.
And but I knew, and I think the same thing as you do, I'd rather go out, I swear to God, and I say this to anyone that's young and scared out there, I swear I would rather go out and look like an idiot and fail and feel stupid for a little bit than later on in my life, having experienced it, saying, what would have happened? What could have happened if I just tried? I've seen things that if I just would have brought to life, that other people brought to life, and not even as good as my vision was, that I didn't act upon because I asked everyone else, what do you think? People don't see what you see sometimes. That's why God gave you that vision and gave you that gift. Everyone has a gift, Sean Kelly. Some people don't realize that their liberation is that they make the best apple pie. There's someone watching this show who makes the best apple pie in the world. They don't realize that apple pie is what will make them a millionaire and change their life forever. They don't realize that God and the universe is giving them the clues, that everyone says, hey, Jeannie, I really love your apple pie. Like, can you give me the recipe, or can you make me one for my mom's birthday? Or like, and you keep hearing this over and over from people. Dummy, that's your opportunity. That's the gift that God gave you. Go make that damn pie.
100%.
It's the little thing. It's the things that we neglect. I always knew that I wanted to do this. I wasted so many years of my life making everyone else happy, my culture happy, my family happy, my this, and neglecting my God-given talent. So many of us suppress the God-given talent that was given to us. We ignore the signs that are right in front of our face, and we're too busy asking everyone else about what we know that we're good at. You know what you're good at because you've heard it from other people, whether you're a funny person. I guess you should be a comedian. You're someone that likes to speak. Maybe you should be a speaker or a salesperson. You have the clues. It doesn't mean you're going to be a master at it, but you know and you feel the passion. People don't listen to these signals. I did 15 years in the corporate world. I killed everything in me. I suppressed everything in me to make everyone else happy. This is what I'm supposed to do. I finished college. I'm supposed to go work for someone the rest of my life. No. We suppress these things in us, and we die slow deaths.
Yeah, people pleasing, man. So many people die with regrets. So many people die young with regrets. I mean, you lost over 30 people that were all super young.
In one day. There is someone that is further away. There's someone in this world today that was further away than you are right now to the same dream. So if my dream was to own my own restaurant, I guarantee you, someone that's watching this, your dream is to open a restaurant. You might have finished school, you have an education. There's some guy that came off a boat, no papers, started as a busboy and a dishwasher, today owns a restaurant. He wasn't even a citizen.
Yep.
So there's someone further away from the goal right? That you both want, but they made it happen. Meaning, if they could, with worse odds than you, then what's stopping you? What's stopping you? My dad is my superhero. My father couldn't speak a lick of English. Came to a country with no education, very little, had nothing, became a multimillionaire.
Wow.
Okay, in real estate. He bought tons of real estate. He worked like an animal, still does. The guy will not stop. Okay? And I feel like when you have that type of role model in your life, your bar set so high. And my dad doesn't just like, here, son, you want money? Like, he doesn't play that game. No one gave me go out there and make it happen. You want to do, he's not, oh, you want to open up a podcast studio, son? Here, I'll give you $1 million. No. You want it, you believe you can do it, go make it happen. I got you this far in life. I helped you finish school. Go do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So seeing him come here and do all that, it's like, I would like, shame on me if I can't do more. And I feel like that is like, you know, and it might not always happen, but I feel like if you can't do better than your parents did, then you failed.
Yeah. I love that mindset.
I truly do. I feel like if I can't do more for my kids, I'm a failure, man.
But statistically, it's the opposite. 70% of people that come into money fail.
100%.
So it's important to have that mentality, man. I mean, I don't know if you have kids yet, but
I have kids. Yes, I have 3 boys, and let me tell you, I agree. I would rather have been, and I'm not saying because I would want to give up my citizenship. I was born and raised in America, but I would have rather had the mindset of the Albanian that was born in Albania and came to America because they have this hunger in them. They have this. There's 2 types of jealousy, okay, or envy. There's good envy and bad envy. Good envy is I see what Sean Kelly's doing. I'm inspired by it. I want to be like what Sean, you know, I want to be like him in that profession. I want to work. That's good. There is good envy. Malicious envy is when someone just hates you because you're doing what you're doing and they don't have the courage or the charisma to even try. So they just hate because you have the courage.
Yeah.
Listen, you get comments all day. I get comments all day. Some of them are great. Some of them are, I laugh at those now anyway. The bad ones.
The bad ones, yeah.
I love trolling them right back.
Oh, you respond?
Oh, all day and all night. You want to get trolled, come on my wall. I'll troll you all day. I love the engagement, man.
That's the New York in you.
Let me say, it helps. The algorithm too. So please, all you haters, I love you. I love you haters. Keep commenting. You're making my algorithm because then my army goes after them and they're going back and forth. And guess what? All of a sudden I have another viral video. Yeah. So I love you haters. But there's good envy and bad envy. The bad envy is like, if you hate on someone you don't even know, you never even met. You may not agree with their viewpoint, okay? And I'm not talking like most people that are not malicious, right? If you just hate on someone for that, just because you don't like what they're doing, I mean, you honestly, you're a loser. You're a loser. I've never felt jealous from anybody in my entire life. I swear to God, I've never looked at someone and said, man, he's got a Ferrari and a Lamborghini. Like, I've just been like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it.
Same.
Or how did you do it? Or can I learn from you? Or like, people just, they're too stuck in their emotions and they're the wrong ones at times.
People can't control their emotions. It's wild to me.
Listen,
I never had anger issues.
My greatest weakness is my emotion in the sense that when I feel something, right, it can either paralyze me or I have to use it to propel me. So like emotion will destroy you if you can't control it. And I've made many bad decisions with emotion. The Albanians have an expression, "Zemrën e fryt, ta hek kryt." A ruptured heart will make you lose your head, meaning like emotionally, if your heart's exploding with anger, you'll lose your head, meaning you will not think rationally. So the key is to try to and I've really been focusing on that in the last 10 years of my life, learning how to control the emotion. It's my greatest strength and weakness. It's why I speak the way I do. I speak with my heart.
Yeah.
But there's times where you got to learn how to suppress, man. Just because something bad happened or someone just like, you just got to calm down, man. Breathe, sleep on it. Let a day or 2 go by. And you do make a much better decision. I do love that expression. When it's translated, it's true. With a swollen heart, you will lose your head.
Yeah.
Breathe. Go somewhere. Reflect. Get out of the environment if you have to and reflect. You know, so many people, and this happens, with violent crimes. Like, they just jump. Like, something happens, their girl cheats on them or whatever. They lose their minds and they destroy their lives. They get revenge. Crimes of passion. I don't know what got into me.
Yeah.
Temporary insanity. No, breathe, man. No matter how bad it is, breathe. No matter how horrible it is. Breathe, get out of the environment, reflect, because you're going to do something you regret, I promise you. Take the time. I've done it many times. I made many mistakes in my life that way, being a hothead. You know?
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I see a lot of my friends trying to seek revenge too, but they spend so much time on it.
It's a waste.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
The opportunity presents itself and you could return the favor, yes. But to dedicate all your energy on it, I agree. And that was the thing, I used to live for that too when I was younger. You know, I'm going to get them back now. I had so many people backstab me, man. People that I did nothing but help. Didn't even ask for anything in return just because and that's when I started to understand Sometimes there's no logic to this life. You could literally help someone with everything, and you're rooting for them, and you actually you love them, and they ram a knife, and they didn't. I could respect there was money involved, and they were going to get. I could understand at least logically, the greed got to them. But when they do it for no other reason at all except to destroy you, and you were doing everything in your power just to help them,
That hurts.
that's a hard one to get over. The emotion there is like, you know what? Now that I'm older, thank God I got to see this. I went through a horrible time in my life personally at one point, and I started seeing people, even in second cousins, third cousins, ramming knives in my back. That there was no gain to them by doing that, except that they were going to lose their connection to me, right? Which many of them begged me to come back in their lives, friends, family. Nah, I'm 42, man.
Wow.
I don't got time anymore for third, fourth, fifth chances. Family you give a little slack to. But we're talking about like friends and associates. One time you show no loyalty, gone.
One and done?
At this stage in my life, you want to keep playing roulette with people?
No.
I'd rather go on the roulette table in Vegas. We got better odds.
Yeah.
What would they say? Let people, they show you who they are, right?
I used to give 3 strikes, but now I'm probably down to 1 or 2, to be honest.
I have no room in that department anymore. The world we live in, my circle went from very big to the people that I trust is very tiny, Sean. Like, I'm saying like 2-3 people. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. I'll do business with people, but there's a lot of paperwork involved now.
I feel that, man. Dude, anything you want to promote or close off with?
Nothing much, brother. Just, doing the podcasting thing and have a lot of motivational stuff coming out soon. Sales course. There's a lot we didn't get into, but I'm going to be doing the next level type stuff. Love to have you on the show sometime, but anyone who wants, they can check out BEK Lover, BeckLover.com. Also, my Instagram's popping at BEK Lover NYC. I talk about all kinds of crazy there, from aliens and demons to stuff that we just talked about. Documentary coming out in the future about my life, and I'm hosting a new show at the Comic Strip Live, the oldest comedy club where all the greatest legends were made. That one's gonna be more fun.
Love it.
And I'd love to have you on sometime, brother. And we'll go get a real sandwich in New York.
Let's do it, man. Thanks for coming on. That was
Thanks,
fun.
Sean, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, see you tomorrow.